That's a real bunker shot. That's a guy that looks like he
That
doesn't
guy
know what
stinks.
he's doing.
That guy stinks, man. I've seen that guy a lot the last year or so.
Like, but you heard the sound,
I
right?
did.
Like
I haven't heard that sound since I was about 20 years old. Oh, look at that.
How good is that?
It was actually really close.
Ooh.
I feel like you're hitting a little draw. Legs are quiet.
Okay.
So crisp. We gotta flip the script on him. He said it's scar tissue. It's like a kid that had hit his head on the diving board throwing gainers. It's like you can still do it though. You're not gonna hit your head again.
That's right.
Kind of wanted to see what we're working with to start. Yeah, let's start here.
That's the best one I've hit in a year.
I was about to
there.
say, of course you clipped the first one.
Go in. Oh.
I mean, everything about that was great.
Okay. Fixed. God, it's just your mere presence.
Yes.
Just inspires confidence.
That looked like a high soft one too.
That was not bad, but we're starting to get into what feels like the falling back here and
yeah. Well, again, you're right. It goes that way first, and then you start to fall back. Have you ever tried to hit like a little low draw? Like, I mean, when I'm saying low draw, like this far of a draw, like 2 inches. You know what I mean?
I do.
Show me what that would feel like. Okay. Not terrible.
No, that actually was okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to get the ground, like the ball contact a little bit better, but I did really like what that ball did.
That feels so like unathletic to me, but it's probably the feel. What about ball position? What should I be thinking?
So, I mean, it just depends on the type of shot you want to play. Ball position is all trajectory based, lie based.
Yeah.
So if you want to go higher, we go slightly more forward. If you want to go lower, throw it further back.
Let's try the higher one because that tends to be the struggle.
Yeah. So if you're going to go high off this, I mean, we're probably a 20 to 30 degree slope right here. You're going to have to shift a little like center of your mass forward at address. Yeah, there you go.
Playing for a little draw. Feel. Ooh, I really like that.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, buddy. There's a lot of good there. I would say, like, that ball's coming out a little left because the face is a little shut at address. Yeah. If you're thinking of going high, we got to get that face just a tick open.
Okay. Now this could be where the demons live.
Which I think is where if I'm as a bystander, I feel like anytime someone's like, you should use the bounce more,
as soon as I start to get
freaks out and it all falls apart.
That's where you're going to want to move, I think, over there.
No, it doesn't need to be a lot.
Yeah.
Just a tick open. There you go. Just like that.
Okay.
I mean,
that felt a little yippy, actually.
Yeah, a little hitty.
I mean, almost went in.
A little hitty. That was hitty.
How much do you feel like you're doing with your hands? How much do you feel like you're doing with your body? Like percentage-wise?
I feel like I really want it to be with my body, and it's 80% with my hands, now that you say that.
Yeah. Let's see if we can flip the script. Let's go 50-50 body and hands, see if they can kind of work together.
That felt so much better.
Best one yet.
So what'd you change?
Just much more body rotation rather than just staying static and throwing my hands and throwing my hands.
Yeah, like go ahead and set up to one.
Because that sounded very different.
Let's take a practice swing together.
Okay.
So I would like you to visualize it's your rib cage, right? Yep. So let's go back together and then through together.
Okay.
Like I want you to feel that much movement, especially from 40 yards. Like that's where you're going to generate your speed and your power from. Oh, like that sound is so much better.
Whoa.
And as you move this rib cage, you're shifting pressure forward, which is getting your contact better. That's what that last one felt like.
Makes a ton of sense.
And again, I'm still gonna harp on that face.
You got it still shut,
Yeah, just barely, right? That's why you're missing it, 10 feet left when. Yeah, there you go. Now just feel the pivot with the body back and through. Good. I mean, I haven't seen any weird ones yet. That one had some nice height and spin on it.
So I weirdly feel like the uphill is helping me. I don't know if it's masking things or what, but
Do we want to turn around and hit that?
Yeah, maybe.
Is it downhill?
Even like a flat.
What about
like
from the rough?
Flat spot.
Or is it short? It's short grass that's bugging you.
It's more the short grass.
Come up on this corner here and try to like.
Yeah, let's try that. We don't have to put the pin either. Yeah, like this on a much tighter lie. I mean, I guess I don't know where the face should be, I guess, to start. So it depends on the kind of shot we're trying to hit, obviously, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where you start with like the flight lines is understanding where the face is supposed to be.
Yep.
So if you want it slightly open, you're gonna trend more towards this front line.
Okay.
Going
that should be at my eyes.
Your nose.
At my nose. Okay. Yep. Which to me, that's almost like feels like that. That's good.
Yep.
Like that handle that high?
And that doesn't need to be the handle that high. It just needs to be like
just directionally at your nose.
Directionally. Okay. That's where it looks.
Okay.
So I would.
No, man. I wish it was worse. This is what
I would say. Yeah, I mean, I would say there is some like lateral shifting this way where you're getting a lot of pressure into that trail foot.
Yeah.
I want you to pivot, but not necessarily like really shift the pressure into that back foot too much. So like that one that you hit slightly heavy there is because you shift that pressure too far back. So this one I want you to go feet totally together, touching.
Okay.
Yep, and now I want you to hit the same shot. Way better, huh?
Way better.
So, and you can see like from face on here, he's not, you're not allowed to do that because if you go this way and you start moving, you're gonna fall over.
Yeah.
So this would be like a great drill to kind of get back to neutral for you. And now just kind of, just feet touching and go back and through. Okay. Now just, you hit it a little heavy, so you gotta keep turning.
But even the heavy one is like, I would rather hit that than.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that shot won't kill you. Okay, so now on this one, I want you to go ahead and, I want you to feel like you're actually gonna fall over on the through swing, okay? Very close. You're a little late. You feel how late you were? Do that again.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I noticed something when DJ does it, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I feel like his first move is to push the hands forward. Is that, do you mind that?
Oh, watch that ball. It's not terrible. It's sort of like, that's sort of his trigger.
Because I feel like I've done that at times in my golf, and I've actually tried to stop it because I feel like it's just one more variable for me.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not good. It really depends on the player.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that it's like a super bad trigger, but some people go like a lot, and that's not great. All right, go ahead and hit one.
Oh, look at that.
How good is that?
How good was that sound?
That was nice, right?
Okay, so what are we looking at there? That's
so
just,
I'm just pushing
not getting through
I'm pushing you 1 inch forward that way, like right in the right spot. So I'm not pushing you forward in the backswing. I'm pushing you forward right about here, and then you're going.
Okay.
You want that feeling again, don't you?
Yes. Bottle that up and sell it.
Ooh, I was a little late on that one, but you can see like the sequencing of it matters.
It does,
right? As to how you're shifting that pressure. See if you can step this thing through. I want to see how
just
low.
Step it all the way through.
How low can you hit this thing, and how much ball can you hit? Very close. Now just go earlier. You're just still
say
like
go earlier.
Yeah. So like if you're like there. And then you step.
Oh, I see.
I want you to be like,
got it.
I'm going to feel like I stepped much earlier. There you go.
There it is.
Much better, dude.
Okay, that's hugely helpful.
Yeah.
Other thing I wanted to ask was bunker shots, because I end up having the same miss where like, take it back, I'll tension up, cast here, and just.
Bunker's a totally different animal, to be dead honest, than what we were just doing there. It's a totally different type of swing.
Okay.
I wouldn't even consider it in the same family
as
this one. They're not even related.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely pressure's going that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you can see, like take a quick look at how long that you're in the ground. That's crazy long. Like I would be in and out of there in half the amount of time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. I'm trying to think what the solve is.
So the solve is going to be, you're going up, you're going in, and you're going back out.
Okay.
Right? So because you're going so much lateral, you're
see.
going
I'm just dragging
in,
it through.
and then you're going all the way through. So like that lateral movement in here for you is making you really long.
So I should almost feel like I'm sticking.
Yeah, you need to really
forward.
feel like you're like once you get in here, the legs are in concrete.
Okay.
They're in blocks of ice.
And weight distribution is probably 70-30.
Yeah, a little bit more that way, especially for your tendency. So just let the arms and hands do the work here.
Oh man.
Okay, bro, like unbelievable. Look at the difference, right?
That sounded great.
That's like 1/3 the size of the previous one.
Let the arms and body do the work.
Zoom in on that right there, because that's a real bunker shot. That's a guy that looks like he doesn't know what he's doing.
That guy stinks, man. I've seen that guy a lot the last year or so.
Like, but you heard the sound,
I
right?
did.
Like
I haven't heard that sound since I was about 20 years old.
All right, so freeze right there. So no great bunker player has the ball position back in their stance. None.
It's like
So that might be the reason why you're going back.
To try to almost readjust to.
Readjust, because you should not have that ball position back there. So
Should feel, I mean, probably exaggerated. It should almost feel like it's off my front of my foot, right?
now
Or
there's
inside of my front foot.
Yeah, I would say there's a couple ways of doing it. You can go ball position slightly forward of center, right? So that your sternum, center of mass, is about 2 inches behind the ball. That's where you want to enter the sand. Or go ball position way forward, but what are they doing? They're matching up their sternum to where their ball position is. So either way works, but I can promise you there's not one good bunker player on the planet that has their ball position off their back of center. Okay.
I mean, even that was like a miss that was still so much better than.
You can see it's like the ones that are good. I mean, it's in and it's out, and it's minimal. So let's go ball position slightly forward. And I want you to feel a little bit more tilt that way. Now I want you to feel like your legs are in blocks of ice, and you're just using your wrists. There you go.
Just using the wrists is a huge cue.
Yeah, and
that's what I need to remember.
And that's why I said it doesn't even relate to your pitch shot. It's not even in the same category.
Don't want me using my wrists over there on that little.
No, I don't. So ball position forward, and I want you to feel more tilt in the shoulders. Yeah, that way. Now
it's almost like flexing this left knee.
Yeah,
almost.
and keep that left knee flexed. Stay in there.
Almost.
Still sounded better.
Still better.
Yeah, absolutely. So ball position forward, you're gonna feel, there you go. Good job.
Ooh,
that one you can see how it moved back.
Yeah.
That's the miss. Like that's the, okay.
Yep. That was that immediate move back that way. And then you gotta sort of drive with the hands.
2 more balls. God, we're not far off.
We're so close.
Okay.
This is
okay. Now we're talking. This is what I was hoping you'd see.
Okay. Let's see it. All right,
so that feels like I'm just all wrists, like we were talking about. But the problem is
you're going out too much out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too much. Path is too far left.
Starting out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So give me that ball position a little more forward. Good. I'm going to kind of give you a little awareness here just to stay real centered.
I'm going to scoot over.
This is good. This is the real stuff.
This is
what we're hoping for. Okay.
But we can also see, like, look at that. Look at where that path is going.
Yeah.
Right? So that's all. If that path is going that way, our hands are going to be just driving, and you're not going to be presenting any club face to the golf ball. I need you to feel like you're presenting.
Throwing it almost.
Yeah, throwing it more.
Yeah.
But more on this type of an arc into the golf ball. Does that make sense? So I want you to drop your right foot back. Yeah, good. Now hit one from there. Legs real quiet. Pretty.
Okay.
Pretty. So yeah, your move is here, that way. And so if you mix that in with leg drive as well, that's bad, bad, bad.
Okay.
So I want you to really feel like you are dropping that right foot back and hitting from the inside. You need to feel.
And almost feel like I'm hitting a draw.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's.
Like that one you probably did feel like you're hitting a draw.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Feel like you're hitting a little draw. Legs are quiet.
Okay.
So crisp.
There you go, and then look at it. So
It's still inching closer to the hosel, but
yeah, but your path is starting to get a little bit better.
yeah,
You're just gonna have to always, that's always gonna be your bugaboo.
yeah,
You're always gonna get to the top. You're gonna wanna go this way. And if your legs drive, you're gonna present hosel.
yeah.
So you need to feel like you're just drawing this little arc in the sand and you're just following it with your club head back and through. And it's gonna feel like you're way inside,
Yeah.
but you're never gonna get there.
I mean, do you like literally moving this right foot back?
1,000,000%.
Okay.
You watch some of the best bunker players in the world and they do that. Because you know the other thing it does, when you drop this back and you get this left leg here, it then becomes like a break,
Yeah, right.
right? So now all of a sudden
Now you are
it
throwing the
breaks
club
and
head.
now
Yeah.
you're starting to throw. Versus if I'm open,
Totally.
now I can just,
That
I can
makes-
go that way. So
The
if you can
tendency
do
is
it
to
properly,
slide
it's
then.
it's a really good way to do it. Now let's just square up your shoulders a little bit.
Right.
That way. There you go. Much better. Yeah, I mean, again, you're going to have to maybe even do some pause drills where you get to the top, you pause, and then you come back down on the same line
Just
that
to
you took it
break
back.
the.
Just to break the, like,
Yeah.
I want to hit it so bad from the top. Okay, I want your shoulders squared up more.
That's the other thing is I feel like I'm fighting 25 years of all right, bunker shot, aim it way out to the left
I
and
know.
come
I
across
know.
and.
Everybody's learned that way for some reason.
Yeah,
Everyone of our age
we
has.
all learn that way, 100%. Yeah.
So you're setting up just square to the target?
Square now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Square. So I always get in and just draw lines, and so try to get your shoulders on that line, your feet on that line. Good. So that's just barely left the target. I probably didn't draw it perfect, but there you go. Good.
Okay.
It's all right. Try it again. We gotta start working that club face in a more open position at setup as well.
Okay.
I know that freaks you out.
It
But
does. That's all right. Look alive, Neil. All right.
there you
Foot
go.
back.
Yeah. That was really nice.
Okay.
Like that path was so much better.
And that's what it is I think
What did you do in transition
that was feeling
there?
like I'm hitting a draw
Good.
and feeling like I'm almost sucking it inside.
And that club literally went up and down on the exact
Yeah.
same plane.
I just have to massively over-exaggerate
You
that.
have to over exaggerate that for sure. But
Neil,
that's your
the feel.
drill for the next however long until you overdo
25 years.
Did you tell me you wanted to see him open his face a little more?
Yeah.
Because that's what I've been seeing.
His,
I feel like
his face is
it's been kind of
always too
addressed.
square.
Pretty square.
Yeah. So give me pressure in that front foot and then just hit it way from the inside. Very close.
I mean, God, even
Yeah,
if that's the disaster, that's
That's so much better.
so
with-
much better.
Yeah. Open that face. There you go. Yeah, that one went way across. You can see it in this.
Yeah.
That path goes. So that if you start hitting the shots that are misses like that, you know that it's coming way too much out to in, especially in transition. So feel like that one you did a 2 or 3 ago, where it's way from the inside, you're hitting it.
Yeah.
There it was.
Wow,
Okay.
beautiful. Much better.
All right. Well, we got it all on tape too. This is
Yeah.
gonna be good to revisit, break down the film. Thank you, man.
100%.
That's
You
helpful.
put it on film.
All right, you're up.
You want to do some rough?
Yeah, well, I want to learn about
And
these
flight
flight lines
lines,
real
yeah.
quick.
Let's go.
Because
So-
I love a reminder and aid like this.
Yeah.
So what am I thinking about
Okay,
here?
so throw a golf ball down.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and set up to it.
Okay.
So let's start with the furthest back flight line.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be handle about 6 degrees forward. Yep,
Okay.
great. So the back flight line runs up to your sternum or your nose.
Okay.
However you kind of want to see it. Okay.
Okay.
So ball position is probably going to be a little back. There you
Yeah.
go. And this is sort of your bump and run shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so handle forward, ball back, back flight line runs up to your nose.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you want to go middle one, that's your sort of mid trajectory shot.
Yeah.
That's about maybe 1 degree of shaft lean forward.
Okay.
And it's a little bit tricky to distinguish, but this one still runs up to your nose. And you can kind of see it's maybe just to the left side of your zipper.
Okay.
And that's where that one's going to be. Face is going to be square.
Yeah.
And now when you get to the forward one, that's going to be more, it sort of pops right there where it's like, okay, that's my bunker flop shot sort of setup.
Yeah.
Right? So that runs right up to your nose. So shaft is in a neutral spot. Club face is wide open.
So you're not even moving that one forward. Are you moving that forward?
No, not really.
You're just keeping it right there in the middle.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like slightly forward to center.
Okay.
So you could even potentially from there, like the more you move this ball position forward, you can lean that handle back and it still goes to your nose.
Especially in the bunker if you really got to get some pop on it.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, that's helpful.
So yeah, those are your three sort of like trajectories. That was really the thought, and we sort of measured tour players.
Yeah.
The Spieth and JTs of the world. We measured those guys, and where are you guys at setup for each of these three shots?
Yeah.
High, medium, low.
And most of them, that's
that we just took an aggregate of where like 25 of them were.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. That makes me feel better because I didn't want to start using these like improperly.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like I'm decent with the wedge. For me, it's an attitude. If I'm being aggressive, I have a bad habit. If I'm not chipping it well, it's because I'm decelling. And so anytime I've really made a concerted effort to like attack the golf ball when I'm chipping.
Yep.
And so having a little aid like that of like, no, you're in the right spot. Just like
trust that
all systems go.
Yeah. That's and it's just a guideline.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like, and I get into like, I drop my hands too far back, so I'm like, I get in there even on full wedge shots, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta remember to get this thing going. More there, and everyone has their own sort of idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
But it's really just a guideline as to where should the club face and shaft position be.
Okay. I love it.
Yep.
So I was at
chunky rough shots.
Yeah, I was at Quail Hollow.
Yep.
And the way these guys are able to, and I'm playing some tournament golf in the Northeast.
Okay.
I live in Brooklyn, so I've been playing the MGA stuff.
Okay.
So I get, playing a lot of courses just like this one, where I get into rough like this, and the way that they're able to take that big swing and have it just, it's not a flop shot. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
right.
wow, their face isn't open, but they can take this big swing and it lands high and soft. Mm-hmm. And they're just making it look so easy. And I feel like my, first instinct is to immediately, anytime I'm gonna roll the face open, is to open my stance. And I feel like maybe that's what I'm messing up.
Yes, correct.
But I'm like, should I be playing that back in my stance?
No.
No.
Anytime you want loft, height, you don't want to play it back in the stance.
So now with these flight lines, I can play it right here in the middle of my stance. Are they opening the face on a lot of those shots?
Absolutely.
They are. Okay.
1,000,000%.
So it's just kind of like, it's this right here and
it's more open than you think.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so like even just watching your practice swing.
Yeah.
You see how long you were in this?
Yes.
So this needs to be more up, down, in, out.
Okay.
So it's a very similar motion to our bunker motion.
Okay.
So if you're coming through here and it's this way, so it's sort of like more of a wider arc, you're gonna catch grass here all the way through and the ball's gonna come out real low. So you've gotta find more up, down, in, out.
Okay. Because, I learned to chip at Georgia Tech Golf Camp. Shout out to Steve Jones. He was the coach at Georgia State. And it was always just like 60% of your weight. It was like never break the wrist, basically.
Right. And that's great for a fairway lie. It's great for a low, medium trajectory.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Here we
this is a totally different animal.
We're going to have to
there you go.
Let it go.
Absolutely.
We got to let the wrist go.
1,000,000%.
Okay. But with just not a closed stance, just a regular stance.
Well, yeah, I would, again, it would help you to drop that right foot back.
Okay.
Yep. And then go face more open.
More open.
Yep.
God, that's...
Maybe come this way for a second. Yeah,
exactly.
All right, so quiet legs, use the wrists. Good.
Look at that.
Okay, now we got
see, that did pop out. But it did, sometimes when I've tried to do that, it's inconsistent contact. It either pops straight up or it's just heavy. So, because I'm like set up like this. It's like, man, that's not the shot. So that's not what I'm seeing those guys hit. They just have a little more go on it.
So reading the lie is going to be massively important. Okay. Right. So that ball's sitting all the way at the bottom.
Yeah.
You better go down and get it.
Okay.
Right. If you come in here and you're nice and shallow, that ball's getting bladed.
Okay.
You need to come in here. It needs to be up. It needs to be down. It needs to be almost no follow through. To be honest with you. Okay. Like this one would be quite hard to hit nice and high, but if you do it properly, you could probably get a high one. Dude, that was
Right
actually,
idea,
that was
actually
definitely
really
right.
close.
Yeah.
It's about,
To be
about
dead
as close as
honest.
we're gonna get. That was a gnarly one. Okay. So reading the lie. So
Reading the lie is
understanding.
massively important. Yeah, so I would say
That's
like the
pretty good,
lie.
though. Like,
That was
I'm
pretty
not-
good because the lie kind of. So now look at this lie.
Yeah.
So put your club behind it, right? I'll tell you the first thing tour players always do. Okay. They grab the wedge out of their bag.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
And what do
Well,
they do?
I was gonna say it's
Every
it's
time.
a bit scummy, you know.
Every time they go
they're
right
fluffing
here.
it a little bit. Yeah. I know.
But here's what they're doing. They're wanting to see how much grass is behind the golf ball.
Yeah.
And how much grass is underneath it.
Okay.
So now this one is way different than the one you just played.
Yeah. I could
So
go up it. I could get all the way under this one.
You could.
Yeah.
If you played it the exact same way, you might leave it right there.
Yeah.
So now you have to play it a little differently, right? You might need to go a little more back in your stance to catch it earlier in the arc.
Okay. But I'm still
Right.
opening it.
If you need to, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you've got a lot of green to work with, you don't need to open
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So if I'm going to read this one, we'll just play the shot here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's running out, so I don't have to open it up quite as much.
Okay. And then you could feel you hit it a little higher in the face, right?
Yeah.
So that would be where I would shift it back in your stance just a little so you could catch it not quite so high in the face.
Okay.
But then to offset that, right, back in the stance, ball's going to come out faster.
Okay.
Open the face a little bit. It's always about managing the ball speed.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're going to go back in the stance, this ball's going to come out faster.
Yeah.
So you got to then do what? Open the face or drop the handle
God, which
back.
feels like back in the stance, open face is like,
Welcome to my world.
yeah,
man.
that's not, well, it just
But,
doesn't feel
but
natural.
not for this lie. This
Yeah,
lie,
yeah,
I would
yeah.
go forward in the stance.
Okay. Probably not.
And then I would
say,
I would lean a little more
okay.
that way. Yep, that'll increase the angle of attack as well. That was pure.
Yeah.
That was
You know
really
what?
good.
Because what's funny to me, the reason I brought this up is I'm walking around Quail Hollow watching these guys. It gets the fans going because the rough looks so scary.
Yeah.
And even to me, you're like, oh God, I hit in this long rough. And it's just like those guys,
Yeah,
it's like the easiest shot. They're like, that,
Well,
they're
'cause-
like the secret is like, that's an easy shot. You know, you
yeah,
just
'cause
have
you
to know
get-
how to play it.
Yeah.
you get in here and you read this line, it's like, okay, well that looks hard and the fans look like, oh my gosh, you can't
Yeah.
even see it. But like I'll get in here like, so I'm immediately already dropping this right foot back.
Yeah.
And that's to allow your wrist to hinge
Allow
more?
this thing to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm using this as a break and I'm just gonna go up and down and try to just barely get this on. And look at my face too,
Yeah.
right? I'm just trying to I'm almost gonna try to whiff this thing because why? There's
All the way
no
down.
chance
Nothing
I can.
underneath it.
Yeah.
Right? There's no chance. So I'm gonna try my hardest to whiff it.
Yeah, it is.
So, okay, so then
But
show
that's-
me like this one. Oh my gosh, you got a great lie. Sitting up.
So
So actually, why don't you teach to the test here?
Okay.
What should he do?
so it would be more back of the stance here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So
he
I
doesn't
want to
have to
catch
get
it
as steep
earlier.
on it.
I don't need to do this because if I do this, I could legitimately
You
go
could
underneath
go right under it.
if I played it the same way.
Yeah.
So now I'm not going to have it as open, slightly open, ball back more here. And I don't need to make quite as violent of a swing because
Yeah.
I don't have as much grass and I got some cushion underneath it. So
Yeah.
that I would come get in my stance right here. Right foot there. Left foot there.
God, you're vertical on it.
Yeah, I'm fairly close to it. And I open that face. That face is too shut. There you go. Good.
I mean, it's just when I open
Not
it,
bad. I had a little spin on it.
I know it just feels like I'm gonna get stuck back there with an open face. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Help! Help!
Well, yeah, and you're trying
Yeah.
a little bit to go that
Yeah.
way, and you just got to trust. Like, okay, I've read the lie. It's sitting up a little bit, and I can just sort of trust that it's going to not go underneath it. I'm going to catch it a little bit earlier in the arc.
Because I have no problem dropping that right foot. I
Good.
like that feel,
Yeah.
and because I know what you're saying. It's like that's the break.
Yeah. So let's give you this sort of poor lie again. Let's go
Okay.
ball position more forward. Drop the right foot back. Lean into that front foot
Yeah,
more.
and that's that bunker play of almost feeling like your wrists are.
Yeah, more pressure here though.
Okay.
There you go. Wide open face. There you go. More pressure in the front foot. More in the front. More in the front. Yeah, right there. Now hinge it up and release it.
That.
And so that was really good.
Yeah.
You need to have that release where you're like you went this way all the way
Yeah.
through. My release is more like
Okay.
I'm almost like
Yeah. you're really
this
getting
club
the torque
head's
from
really
it.
really passing the hands. Yeah, that way.
Okay.
Where I legitimately am trying to go right underneath that ball.
Yeah.
I'm legitimately trying to whiff it. So seriously try and whiff it. You know what it feels like,
Yes,
right?
I
Yeah,
do,
seriously
very well.
try to whiff this thing. So it's still that drive on the way through that's making that ball come out low.
Yeah, well, that's just years of like, don't ever let your wrist cross your, just like the broomstick, right?
And so this
but you're right, this is a totally different animal.
It's a totally different animal. So when you get in that thick rough, it's like, I like to think of it as two separate families of shots. So the one family of shot is more body pivot, like we were talking about, stricker. And this family of shots more wrist set, so is the bunker.
Yep.
And so if you can get better at both families of shots and separate them out and compartmentalize them, you're going to be way better. Because if you try to use the stricker method here, it doesn't work as good.
See, I love this because if I'm with chipping, if I feel like I have the confidence of the right technique, then it's like, I got this, man. Exactly. And then I make an aggressive swing, and then it goes well. It's when I'm like,
you gotta have a plan.
Exactly. But in here, I feel like I'm doing something different every time I get in the thick stuff, and I'm not evaluating the lie properly. I think that's a big piece of this. So
I think you got it now.
Yeah. All right, that's great.
All right, boys.
Super
Thanks
helpful.
so much, man.
100%.
I love
Great
that.
to meet you.
I love
Nice
that.
to meet you guys too. Yeah, absolutely.
God, permission to let my wrist flip is
I know, that's
exciting
exactly.
stuff.
That's huge.
Right? Like that's like, don't tell mom. You know, it's like you shouldn't be allowed to do that.